All right, welcome. Let's dive into something really practical today. We've got this great piece from Penny Nest, and it tackles that moment after you've dipped into your emergency fund. What now?
Yeah, it's a situation a lot of people find themselves in, and the very first point Penny Nest makes, which is so important, is that using the fund, that's not failure.
Right?
It's actually proof the plan worked, it did its job. So our mission here, using their insights, is to break down, the actual steps to build that fund back up.
Because emergencies just happen, don't they? It could be a health thing, job loss, maybe the car breaks down.
Yeah.
Using the fund is the reaction.
Exactly.
But bouncing back, replenishing it, that's the strategy we need to talk about.
And getting it replenished is just, well, critical. Think of it like the foundation of your financial house. If it's weak, everything feels less stable. Rebuilding it brings back that peace of mind, and honestly, it helps you avoid falling into high-interest debt traps next time something unexpected crops up.
Okay, so Penny Nest lays out a step-by-step. Where do they say to start? What's step one?
Step one is assessment. Gotta know the situation. How much did you actually use? And what was your original goal? That classic 3 to 6 months of essential expenses.
Right, the essential.
Calculate the difference. That's your target number. Penny Nest also gently suggests just reflecting for a second on why the emergency happened. Not to beat yourself up, but maybe there's a lesson there.
Okay, got it. Assess, find the target number. So once you know how much you need, what's the plan? Step two?
Step two is planning, and crucially, prioritizing. You need a realistic timeline. Penny Nest suggests something like 6 to 12 months is often doable.
Where?
Divide the total you need by the number of months. Boom, that's your monthly savings goal for this. And here's where Penny Nest gets really specific, this replenishment. It needs to be your absolute top priority for a while.
Top priority meaning what gets paused?
It might mean temporarily hitting pause on other savings goals, maybe the vacation fund, or putting extra towards debt beyond the minimum payments. Ruthless prioritization, but temporary.
What about retirement? Like 401k contributions, should you pause those too?
Good question. The source is pretty clear here. Generally, no. You should definitely keep contributing enough to get your full employer match. That's free money, you don't want to leave that on the table.
Right, free money's good.
But contributions above the match, or maybe to an IRA, yeah, those might need to be paused just until the emergency fund is healthy again. It's a calculated trade-off.
Makes sense. So step three must be finding that money in the budget, right? How do you squeeze it out?
Exactly. This means taking a hard look at your spending, especially the non-essentials. Think eating out less, maybe cutting back on some streaming services you don't use much, impulse buys.
The usual suspect.
The usual suspects, yeah. The goal isn't to live like a monk forever, but to make targeted, temporary cuts. Free up that cash and then specifically allocate it to rebuilding the fund. Penny Nest stresses that discipline here really adds up.
And if cuts alone aren't cutting it, step four is about boosting income.
Yeah, this one's optional, but it can be a real game changer for speeding things up. Penny Nest mentions things like maybe a temporary side gig, delivering stuff, freelance work.
Selling things you don't need anymore.
Totally. Or if you get a windfall, like a tax refund or a work bonus, consider throwing, maybe all of it straight at the emergency fund. That can really move the needle fast.
Okay, and step five sounds like it makes it easier. Automate.
Oh, absolutely. Automation is your friend here. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your emergency savings account, preferably a high-yield one.
Right when you get paid.
Exactly. Time it with payday. Treat it just like any other bill you have to pay. Pay yourself first, make it non-negotiable. Takes the willpower out of it.
Now, you mentioned a high-yield savings account. Where exactly should this money live once you're saving it? Penny Nest had thoughts on this.
They did, and it's crucial. Safety and accessibility are key. So, yes, a high-yield savings account, HYSA, or maybe a money market account. They're safe, liquid, earn a bit of interest.
Not investing it then.
Absolutely not. And Penny Nest is really firm on this. It's tempting, right, to chase higher returns. But emergency funds are not investments. Their job is safety net. Pure and simple. You can't risk it losing value or not being immediately available when the next emergency hits. Liquidity and safety first.
Got it. Safety first. Okay, so as people go through this, what are some common mistakes Penny Nest warns about? Pitfalls to avoid.
A few big ones. First, just delaying getting started. It can feel overwhelming, but procrastination is the enemy. Second, relying on credit cards instead of actually adjusting the budget.
Slippery slope.
Very. Third, not making concrete spending cuts, just kind of hoping the money appears. And finally, getting discouraged by slow progress. Even small, consistent savings matter.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. The big takeaway from Penny Nest seems to be using the fund. Totally okay, it did its job. The real work is that consistent effort to replenish it.
Exactly. Consistency, focus, follow those steps. You'll rebuild that safety net. It's absolutely achievable.
And maybe think about this. What did going through that emergency actually teach you? Did it change how you think about your financial plan, or even how big your emergency fund ideally needs to be for your life?
Yeah, that's a really powerful question to reflect on.
Lots to think about. For more great insights like this, definitely check out the source material over at Penny Nest.